When you spend 2 decades wearing a motorcycle club patch, serving in leadership, and half a century raised in the life, among some of the largest organizations on record, there are several life lessons to be learned. This is one of those lessons. This is the final part 2 to the previous episode titled Counterattack. In part 1, I introduced you to American scientist and entrepreneur Amy Eskridge, a brilliant young lady best known for her research into anti-gravity technology propulsion systems and quantum tech. In this episode, I will tie together her untimely death, just 35 years old, after having reported online several times that she was being stalked by an unknown person, and how that relates to the lessons I learned when having a contract put on my life, not once, but twice, as well as other attempts to do me harm while serving as leadership in large, well-known motorcycle clubs. Upon closing episode 1, I asked a question. What would you do in her situation? If you knew that somebody was targeting you, at least in the sense of following you, bugging your home to hear your conversations, even so far as to rent out an apartment in proximity to yours in the same complex, how would you handle that? You see, Amy wasn't an egregious leader of a motorcycle club in an often dangerous and seedy lifestyle. She was just a young lady who was studying anti-propulsion, anti-gravity technology in her own little company that she had created with her father. The official ruling was that she ended her own life with a single projectile to her head. But I think anyone with any common sense would agree that that ruling is suspect, when she had already reported multiple times that she was being stalked, and that she had no plan of ending her life. In fact, if it were to happen, for her friends to understand that she did not end her life, but although she spoke about this shadowy figure stalking her everywhere she went, I don't think she was prepared enough or took it serious enough to understand what the intent was. And you see, that's exactly what they expect. The people and agencies that perpetrate this type of crime expect that a normal citizen, not trained in self-defense or counterterrorism, will do exactly what she did. And that was go about her business, keep reporting her findings and her science online, even when she had received threats not to do so, and she did not prepare or take serious enough the threat against her. I mean, why would she? This kind of stuff only happens in the movies, right? I am not at all blaming Amy for her death. People think shit like this only happens in the movies, but I assure you it happens every single day on this planet. Citizens of Earth are removed from the planet by those who are motivated to either protect the greedy and elite, or they try to justify it in the name of national security. But make no mistake, it is illegal, it is immoral, and it is murder. They get no special pass on this. I'm sure that most of you think that this could never happen to you. And perhaps with the odds of the number of humans on this planet, maybe you're right. But I can tell you, it's not just whistleblowers and scientists targeted by special op deep state agencies conducting these operations. It happens at big box stores and grocery stores just as often, when those who are not paying attention are targeted by criminals no matter what their association is. I'm certain that some of you will roll your eyes and say this is just another conspiracy theory. And to those I ask, how many times do you have to be proven wrong before you understand? See, Amy is among the counted 11 scientists who either had an untimely demise or have just simply gone missing, and who are all tied to aerospace engineering and quantum physics, all over the course of around 5 years. You see, I've done the research, and the odds that 11 scientists in the same field of study, all with ties to the same government agencies, ending up this way are almost uncalculatable. They are well over 1,000,000,000 to 1 odds that it would happen to 11 scientists within that time frame. And one other thing they all had in common was that none of them were prepared to defend themselves at all costs, even if it meant going on the offense. I certainly understand that it's not your choice to be targeted, whether it be gang stalking or men in black. But the reality is, if it is happening to you, you should expect the absolute worst as a precautionary measure. You see, they are counting on the fact that most citizens don't have it within them to not only defend themselves, but to turn the tables on them. But for some of us, that's exactly our game. I was once talking to an adversary on the phone who was bitching about the course of action that we had taken at a bike night. And I explained to him that he was misreading the situation, because one thing I would guarantee him, and that was, if our club had a problem with yours, you would know it, because we will show the fuck up. I once took a pack of 35 patches to a clubhouse of a club that we had a beef with, and who would not respond to our calls, and we shut the public street down in front of their clubhouse for almost an hour, in broad daylight, as we attempted to convince them to come outside and have a conversation. I was always taught, win or lose, the best way to deal with a situation is head on. Some of us don't run from danger, we run towards it, because it is our desire to prove to someone who thinks they are the biggest bully that they are indeed not the biggest bully. In Amy's case, if I were her, or if she were my gal, I would have reverse stalked this motherfucker to find out where he goes when he's not stalking me. Of course, I have resources that she probably didn't, but I can tell you, once I knew his pattern, that I would have been sitting in his living room waiting for him to show up to the apartment. I am not advocating that anyone do what I would do, but it's not above me to send people pictures of their own loved ones going about the course of their day, including going to church or the grocery store or getting off the school bus, just to let them know we can both play this game. But at the very least, I would suggest that you always keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to what's around you. Pay attention to people that are looking at you. Pay attention to vehicles that you've seen more than once. Pay attention to anything that's out of place. When law enforcement says, if you see something, say something, they're talking about you snitching on your neighbors. What I say is, if you see something, do something before they do. But what the hell do I know? I'm just Tabasco the biker. Keep it real.
What the hell is going on around here? Our freedom and rights have disappeared. Crooked cops running our streets, collecting those greenbacks for the elite. Nothing in this world is what we thought. Elected servants all been bought. The injustice system kidnapping our brothers. Satanic churches stealing from our mothers.